In 2019, Jeremy Corbyn was 2,000 votes away from becoming our next Prime Minister. Sadly, he didn't make it. But what if I told you that despite no longer being Labour leader, out of the Labour Party altogether, to this day, his name is still being dragged through the mud by mainstream media and establishment politicians. It's because Jeremy Corbyn is part of a secret list that many of us don't know about, and he's not the only one on it. Like Mick Lynch, Jeremy Corbyn has the mainstream media shaking in their boots, even now. But why? 2019 was over 6 years ago, and he's not even in the Labour Party anymore. If we're going to tell the truth, it's because he's one of the biggest threats the UK establishment has faced in decades. That threat isn't for me or you, it's for the establishment politicians and the mainstream media that have been hoarding power for so long. This is what Jeremy Corbyn would have said on his first day as Prime Minister.
Then we're thinking, what we're going to do to start with. What's the message? The message is going to be, today, rough sleeping homelessness ends. There will be no more homeless people in this country. The state will provide. That was going to be my opening gambit.
You would have said that on the steps of Downing Street. Those would have been your first words.
This is our way of bringing this country together.
And there would have been, you would have sent a dictate out to
all local
authorities.
And fund them to do it. We could do it during COVID. We can do it anytime. I mean, it is an insult to our society that we tolerate the idea that people can sleep rough on our street.
Did you see that? That's a potential Prime Minister with real values and complete disregard for what the 1% or city bankers think of him. That's because Corbyn wasn't just all talk. That speech would have been followed by a promise he made in the manifesto, which would have led to 100,000 social homes being built every year. This would have meant that everyone had access to affordable housing, and not just rough sleepers, but those of us that are priced out of the rental market or one day even might want to buy a home, which right now is, as everyone else knows, impossible. What I'm about to tell you is really important for what happened before 2019. 90% of the mainstream media we see in the UK is owned by 3 companies. That means, given the top 1% were outraged that they could be challenged by a man who wants to bring people out of poverty, they decided to pick up the phone and call their mates, their broadcasters, their journalists to start attacking an innocent man. Those hoarding the wealth in our country don't want us to participate in a market that they currently dominate. It would completely ruin their profit margin. Boo-hoo.